some exciting stuff before I start on here. Bradley notified me at the beginning of the stream, and there was a CTGP update, or of a CTGP update, that finally removes the filter over the top you have to patch the main.dol for, and then the background blur has been removed as well, which is what Retro Rewind does, and then I figured out how to kind of do it in my own game a few weeks back anyway. So this now looks significantly more crisp and clean than it did before. I don't know if that is allowed when it comes for time trialing and stuff like that, but at least at the moment I have this enabled, and it looks significantly better as well. I can't imagine that there will be some people that are not aware of this being a thing and might come in and think, why am I playing on a Retro Rewind or Dolphin? But at least at the moment this looks very nice. I want to see if it actually affects my gameplay in any way. I have obviously played on Service Pack, which removes the filter, so not the background blur though. I need to figure out how to do that on Service Pack. I've got a GCT code for it, but it'd be nice to kind of just get rid of that on there as well. And the only way to get rid of it is to have like a custom Service Pack mod though. Anyway. Okay, well, without further ado, I'm gonna play. That just looks significantly better, but I must argue why. Why was it not a thing until now? Until today, to be more specific. I do not understand. But there we are. So I don't have the little fan on at the moment, so I wonder if that's going to affect stream. I might end up putting it on and have it sitting in front of me, but for now it is off. Alright. It does look so much cleaner though. On screen, on capture cards, looks very nice, in my opinion. Okay. Alright. That took a bit longer to load than normal though. Wait, no, it disabled it again! Oh. Yeah, look at that. I changed course and it's fine, it's off. Yeah, it's off here. Okay, well I guess it's not allowed for time trialing then. That was a massive FU. Unless that's currently like a bug or something, but I guess it does kind of make sense. Time trialing the vanilla game, it would look like this, so I guess. Are my loads longer now? I need to see actually. The course definitely took like 2 or 3 seconds longer to load when I selected the ghost. Okay. Nah, it's the same speed. Okay, cool. It's a warm up to this whole month. Okay. We'll get into this eventually. I was very late. And I don't know what I did with the finger. Thumb. Hi, Lewis. They are not saved on the CTGP servers. They are not. Online for Retro Rewind doesn't even take place on the same servers as CTGP. But they are stored on the Ghost in the same, on the SD card in the same way if you set a Ghost. But it's kind of a bit more awkward to find them. It took me a while to get the MC3 Ghosts. How are you doing today though, Lewis? I assume you've just kind of piled in. But it turns out, I have something to kind of talk about actually. There was a new update for CTGP today, which if you remember me talking like a few weeks back about complaining about how blurry the game looks, which is how it looks currently now. There's been an update that finally removes the filter over the front of the game, like you patch the main.dolphin. Alright, that should be back now. I guess this is how I have to stream. That kind of sucks. Right. Everything else that doesn't need to be open, please fuck off. Yeah, so I don't know if you can tell, but the menu looks a lot sharper. But if we watch this Ghost, for example, you can see here, look, the background is much clearer. The foreground stuff with the shrooms, the time, the speedometer, everything like that. Much crisper, a much cleaner looking game. Play against the Ghost. And it removes it all. It's back to normal. Which I guess kind of makes sense, because obviously I think CTGP tries to kind of represent the vanilla experience with regards to time trialing, so it also removes the speedometer. Custom track music, custom music isn't allowed, all that kind of stuff, so yeah, it's annoying, because like this is literally the only thing I'd be able to use it for, and I just can't. That's fine. But yeah, that's a new feature in CTGP now. It's pretty cool. However, it shouldn't have taken as long as it did to actually get that in CTGP. And I feel like it, again, this kind of just suddenly being added in the next update was kind of an abrupt decision to try and match the competition, which in this case is Retro Rewind. By the way, I got a weird ass 26 160 lap with shit triple. Yeah. I don't know why my reaction was, yeah, that's actually kind of cool, considering that you only started playing Triple Mini Turbo like a week ago. Or was it 2 weeks at this point? Time is going way too quickly. It's already less than a month till my birthday. And I hate everything about it. It's so irritating, but there we are. Yeah. I can't imagine much interest is going to be around for CTGP much longer. I'd say the only thing at this point that is keeping it around at the moment is the time trial scene. That keeps it, I think, well, probably time trials and I guess the Mogi scene for people that want to do that with all the host settings and stuff like that. But as soon as anything else gets those two things, like if Retro Rewind suddenly offers support for like a leaderboard system and to like play regular worldwide Mogis, it's done. Because it just has everything that it doesn't at the moment. Yeah, so I finally gave it more of a go. After my last stream, I set up Retro Rewind on the Wii downstairs and played a bit with Robin. And it's really funny. I tried, there's an option to turn on inward drift for everything. So that would do it with bikes, and it's already quite amusing as that is. But it did so with karts as well. And I tried playing this track on Concerto with inward drifting, with just inward drift, and it was really messing with my mind because obviously you can't wheelie, and then it was giving you the orange mini turbo still. I might load up my Ghost and show you the time I did actually like beat the Retro Rewind Staff Ghost, but it was really fucking with my head the entire time. That's why I'm getting back to CTGP, but to be fair, the database should be unified. Well, as in, like, every pack should use it. I think the thing is that CTGP offers a bunch of protection, and it's got, like, a lot of code and stuff in place that prevents people from putting cheater times on there, because I'm sure you remember the WFC days, which had absolutely no protection to that sort of thing whatsoever. Like, if you had a modded game and you just used like 50 bullet bills on MC3 to get like a 30-second time, then, you know, it's just... Or a speed mod or something. Or even just do that thing where you like deleted all the time data, so you had all those times that were just like 1 millisecond, you know? I think the whole thing is that CTGP kind of protects against that. One of the things that Retro Rewind has like that downside for is that the game can easily be like run with hacks alongside it. So you already, like, as soon as it launched, you had a ton of hackers and people joining in races and just trolling around. And obviously, they would be dealt with, but it's just like, I feel like the protection in that instance is a bit larger on C2GP and WinFi, just generally speaking. But also, I guess it would be very cool actually if there was native support for the leaderboard system like the in-game sort of leaderboards. If that connected to the Chadsoft database, you can actually see the kind of in-game leaderboards sync up with what was on Chadsoft. But I don't know how that system works. But yeah, the other thing is that Retro Rewind works with Dolphin, and I think that's also why a lot of people, that it opens up for like hackings and stuff. But last time I checked, there is a way to like recode an ISO to open CTGP. Like I saw a video pop up a couple of months back that someone managed to get CTGP to load in Dolphin with this like, is a command line kind of software thing. I'll just send it to you, Lewis, because you might find it interesting. CTGP should unify with Retro Rewind in my opinion. They should merge. Retro Rewind loads faster, is more optimized. They need to add back the feature from the Mario Kart channel that allows you to challenge your friends with your ghosts. So that would be Reconnect 24. That would be a good feature as well. But I mean, that's kind of like, it does sort of allow you to do that already. You just have to kind of go out of your way to find the ghost. So I get what you mean, because I would like that too. Like, it would be cool. It'd be very useful if I could just, like, upload ghost data and then, like, download yours just natively on, like, the game itself. Because if we had each other added and WFC and Reconnect 24 was a thing, yeah, there you go. I could just be like, hey, I finally PB'd on MC3, and I'm just like, I uploaded it, and you'd be like, okay, cool. I can't remember if you could actually like send like challenge ghost datas to friends. I can't remember if you could do that. I feel like you would have to send it to everybody. But then again, it's like, I don't know, it's just like a quality of life type thing, isn't it? Ugh. That felt weird. And the CTGP method to extract information from the database sucks ass. Yeah. I assume you're referring to the channel that keeps crashing. I wonder if that's been fixed. It didn't say anything that it's been fixed. But I know for a fact it's not something that just affects us. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I can't see it being merged anytime soon. You know what should be merged with Retro Rewind? It's the service pack. Mario Kart Wii service pack would be fucking great. Just imagine playing like online TT with a native input viewer on your screen. That would actually like be super cool. Like, I could go for like triple mini turbo on online TT and fuck it up, and you'd be able to see in my inputs why they fucked up. But also, Service Pack has a ton of features. A lot of them overlap with Retro Rewind, but you also have like the battles mode, the custom battles mode. So one of the things that me and Robin tried out, well, it mostly ended up being me trying them out because it ended up being so bullshit, is Retro Rewind has custom battle courses. I think CPL's probably in the process of implementing it, and so it hasn't like fully been like sorted yet. But when we played, I tried out Balloon Battle, and it would just randomly keep removing balloons. So like I would have balloons in one battle, and then the next battle I just wouldn't have any, and I would be hit more than 3 times and wouldn't die. But then there'll be some CPUs with balloons, and I was trying to shroom around and try and steal the balloon to see what would happen, but I just never seemed to get it to hit, and it would never give me a star or anything like that that would actually make that work. But then the last battle I played, I tried it out, and then just out of nowhere a CPU hit me and I just died, and then I suddenly got balloons back like a couple of minutes before the end of the game, and I'm just like, huh? I think Robin was finding it funny because I was having a lot of ridiculous reactions to stuff, to being like, why is this thing doing this thing specifically and not what I expect, you know? But you see, on Service Pack, that's all been sussed out. You actually have custom teams, or even the ability to play no teams. You have the ability to use any vehicle you want, which Retro Rewind has too. But it's just like, I don't know, it seems like they can be like implemented into each other. Enjoying your game not looking like shit. Unfortunately, Bradley, it turns back to normal when you time trial. It adds the blur back. Oh, I've lost control. Thank you, Nunchuck. Yeah, it must have been like an anti-what-you-would-call-it implementation cheating thing. So I was ready to go. I had all the options configured and everything, and it was just like, nope, here's your shit-looking game. Get fucked, I guess. I mean, I don't really care at this point. I was talking to Lewis, as soon as either time trial support or time trial leaderboard support or was like Mogi stuff gets, like, if that gets fully supported in Retro Rewind, then it's over for CTGP basically, because the mod itself is already like significantly better. Okay. Retro Rewind doesn't need the files to be on your SSD. Does it not? That's a plus for me. Never mind, it needs them. Fuck. Oh, okay. Why don't I just read the rest of the messages? Oh, that's another thing that happens as well. You know when you try and load... You have a different disc in the console, and you try and load the game through the CTGP channel, and it has a hizzy fit, and be like, nice try, but that's not fucking Mario Kart Wii. Retro Rewind doesn't do that. It just doesn't give a shit and loads up the game that's in the disk drive. So when I first went to play it whenever I played it with Robin, I think Saturday night, I unknowingly loaded... I went to load the channel up, and I was like, that's odd, I don't have any options for the game. And then I played the game, and it just loaded into Wii Party. It just didn't care. It just was like, right, cool, I'm not going to tell you that you have the wrong disc in here. I'm just going to load it so that you can see that. I'm just like... I deleted CTGP and it's installing every update again. Why did you delete it? So you pasted the folder again into SD card. I see. Well, I mean, yeah, I think it's got to implement the updates for like the channel or something. I don't know how it works. Because my SD card only has 2 gigabytes of memory, and I played with Jacob on Retro Rewind. Oh. Oh, so you're moving the 2 file systems over. I mean, I have a ton of spare SD cards if you want them, Lewis. Like 32 gig SD cards. I'm not using one right now. I have a bunch of 2 gigabyte SD cards as well because they have faster loads. But I also, before I went to Berlin, I bought a ton of spare fast load 32 gig SD cards. But they were never used for their intended purpose, so they're literally like, I've got one unboxed, and that's what I use for Retro Rewind and Wii U mods now. But then, yeah, everything else, just haven't tried it for that yet. Save them for me when you travel to Europe. I can't keep that promise, but I will try. Because I might need them for something, who knows. They were bought with my editing expenses, though. So far, I haven't touched all the money I've earned from editing, because the plan is to actually try and use that to buy more equipment for Emma or myself to use, and then just invest back into the videos. But obviously, that's a plan that's only in my head at the moment. I haven't actually discussed it. I don't know what she'd think if I just suddenly turned around and was like, here's a $1 grand camera. My SD card is 4 gigabytes and I have to move the ghost folder to somewhere else to fully update C2GP. What the fuck? God, I don't even think mine is that big. I mean, it's not. That's absurd that that's that big. Also, hello Dwip, by the way. That's another thing that bothers me. You should be able to tag which ghosts you want to load from the database, which ghosts you want to upload. Oh, as in choose what you want to upload rather than it just uploading everything. Well, I mean, what you could do is not load into the database and then just take the SD card out and just take the ghosts that you don't want to be uploaded on the ghost database off. But that's long. I get what you mean. Again, it's another one of those quality of life things. Yeah. It's a dumb solution, but it's that's the only way you can really do it. I get if you could do it all console side. But perhaps the protection with that is a ghost that was set on C2GP has a special kind of verification that it was set on C2GP kind of embedded in the ghost file. And if someone then creates a ghost file on their computer or something and then tries to bring it over to console to upload, then, I don't know, I feel like it's a bypass because the channel can tell what was created on that console specifically and what was created via C2GP. I don't know. I might also be chatting shit. I don't know how it works. That's my interpretation of it. I mean, who knows? Seeing as we got the remove blur feature in this now, it might as well be something that will be coming in the future. It would make hoarding times respect. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have to take my baby part BKT off the SD card and not upload it. I could just keep it on there and just upload it when I choose to. If I load my keyboard PB, will it load it? I mean, if you can actually put that on your SD card for as long as you have the file compressed. If you put it in your SD card system, you can actually load that ghost onto your console. You don't even have to name it anything specific. You could literally rename the file to be like, I don't know, Jacob sucks dick, and it would just like still work. Because it's an RKG file, but because it wasn't set in C2GP, it doesn't have that verification thing in it, like I was saying. So it won't upload or anything. Yeah, no, I mean it will. Like you can watch the ghost, but you won't actually be able to load it onto the database because it will tell it was made outside of CTGP. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. You literally just said, "Oh right," as you understood, and I'm just like, "Well, here it is. Explained it again." Why did I do that? That's an interesting. I don't know. Yeah. So I assumed your PB on Dolphin as it didn't upload to the database. No! I PB'd on C2GP. At the time that I set my PB, there was actually a database breach. And so, being turned off uploading to the database for the time being, that's also a really good triple. Yeah, he turned off uploading to the database for the time being, and then I messaged him and being like, hey, I set this time and it's currently 5th UK, can you ensure that it gets onto the database alright? And he said, yeah, it should be fine, we're just like sorting out a breach. And so I waited and it was just never uploaded. I did send it through, and it did upload as far as I can tell, but it just never actually went up for some reason. This is terrible. Why did you double hop there? Didn't realize this was Toad's Factory. So I just want to take a look at this. And there you go! The filters are off! We're not on blur anymore! Oh, that's so annoying! I have a feeling it had... Yeah, it died there. I had a feeling that it had a better beginning, but a worse ending. I'll have to compare that. You want your 480p quality, thanks. This is 480p! That's how bad, like, the filter actually is. I thought you forgot you were practicing and got a PB and you were like, shit. Oh. I mean, to be fair, the 366 was set 20 minutes into the beginning of the session, so I was technically warming up for the day. And wasn't thinking about it. That's why the shrooms were really shit. Because I hadn't, like, warmed up to how I was doing them, how I usually do them yet. And why a lot of the mini turbo releases are quite slow. But if Dolphin counts, then I technically have a .2. Because I've set a 274 on Dolphin 3 years ago now, maybe? Oh, come on. I just want to actually play the track. Yeah, I love the deflicker filter. Like, the deflicker filter, like, removal. But it shouldn't have taken this long to get it in CTGP. I know where they are, mostly are. I think most of them in the 366 are at the ending. So it fucks up with the shroom. And the second to last turn is very slow. Like, if you look at the comparison between all the other .3s that I've got since the 366, they all overtake it at the end. Specifically on lap 2, really suffers. I think the beginning of the lap as well, but I feel like that is a very difficult aspect of the track that I'm not ever really going to learn properly. Like, for example, that timing is pushing to the limit already. And I think the second turn is just going to be a bit harder. Like, I feel like if I tried to purposefully hone in on the second turn to pull that mini turbo quicker, because I can see it. I can see it's releasing slower basically every time you compare me with somebody else. But there's just, because it's such an accurate thing, and I switch soft drift directions, so I use bottom right for the triple and top left for like left side drifting. It's much harder to get to that direction. If that makes any sense. I don't know. I feel like it's... What I'm trying to say is that the current driving can beat my PB without me really doing anything to it. I just need to play consistently and that's it. So I feel like at the moment it's a waste of my time to be like, I'm going to practice the second turn for like 3 hours. Even though I'm arguably also not PBing at all. Because I say the thing that is the limitation at the moment is consistency. Like, I'm very consistently not getting the starter boost at the moment. And that's also not going to get it, I don't think. Oh no, got it. There we go. But yeah, it's just a case of like sitting down with it and figuring out how it works. I think I might actually need to do so from save states on console rather than save states on Dolphin. Because I feel like, honestly, I feel like when I practice something on Dolphin, and I practice it to a decent standard, and then I try and play on console, it actually feels physically different. And I do not know why. I'm playing with the exact same Wiimote and the exact same controller. And it's just... I feel like I'm physically putting my thumb and fingers in a different place on the controller every time. Like that, for example, as well. That was a good shroom. I fucked up the last turn, though, because I drifted it slightly late. Okay. There we go. What's this here? Da, 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 da. All I fuck I did. I played versus your ghost and we drove pretty much the same thing. I got mad and played versus Nobuo the next day. I got a 0.3. That's interesting. Nobuo gives good runs confirmed. It feels different because the monitor is not the same. It happened to me a few days ago. Well, that's the thing. I plugged into the fucking screen. I was running Dolphin off of my laptop, so perhaps the delay is different, but I plugged into this screen that I'm using here. Perhaps it wasn't running smoothly on my laptop. I don't know. But it's consistently the same. It was the same on my old laptop, and it was the same on when I tried it on my iMac briefly as well. There we go, there's a 0.1. No, that's not a 0.1 now. A bit too far to the left for my liking. There we go. I just Dolphin to mess around with the triple mini turbo with keyboard, as I've learnt the timing's a little better, and I fucked up everything as I've forgotten how to play. The colours, brightness and refresh rates change, yeah. Well, I mean, it's literally on a different device. That's why I was saying, if I figure out how to put save states on console, maybe just play that way instead. Then I'm literally playing on the device that I'm running off of. The custom version of Service Pack that Jacob was using last night looked really good, but it was just a position changer, and that is way too far to the side, the right there. That's also why I struggle with the spin drift as well, because of my awkward way of stuff drifting. There is a TAS category. You shouldn't be able to save states if you use that category. I think that's because that was uploaded, like, that's the, was it, there's like a TAS database, or spreadsheet, or whatever, that was collected, that pulls together all of those old TAS ghosts. And I think those have just been pulled from there. It's really cool, actually. It's really neat that there's now like a TAS database. I don't know what the idea for that is, though. If there are going to be like Dolphin runs uploaded through that at some point. But I'm pretty certain it just pulls from the TAS, like, leaderboard. Okay. Well, we got frozen at 0 KB per second. I love Z2GP. It sometimes does that. Just give it a second. Unless you've given it like an hour. Yeah, I don't know. Should I wait or reset? It's been like 10 minutes. If it's been 10 minutes, then I'd reset. Ugh. I wonder if I can speak with the CTGP managers to optimize their SQL search for the database and add a few filters to reduce the load times. I mean, that would be Mr. Bean. And I don't know. I don't know how we'd feel about that being like someone joining his server and just adding him on Discord and being like, hey, your code kind of sucks. I don't know. That's literally the only person I know to kind of get in touch with. I don't know if there's actually a team behind it that try and optimize it. No, you wouldn't say that. I know you wouldn't say it that way. But it would be like... I don't know. I mean, I'd still like for it to just not crash on my console. That would be kind of nice. I don't know why it does that. I'm pretty sure it does it on the Wii as well. Like, I'm just not able to scroll through the database anymore. I have a feeling it's because, like, especially when you put... what's it, ghosts on? Obsolete ghosts on a track specifically like MC3 where it has just so many to load. It just overwhelms the channel. I don't know though. I was wondering if I could help you with these features for SQL database. Also, I would like... I mean, I don't know. Sorry, I didn't read that. Trying to read while time traveling here. Also, I would like to help you with the SQL optimization. I mean, you can give it a go, but in a way, I feel like it's going to lead anywhere. I feel like it isn't going to lead anywhere. Because I feel like a lot of the code... I don't know how the inner workings of CTGP stuff works. I can't really tell you about that, but I feel like a lot of it is just done by Bean himself. Like he implements quality of life things as well. Like I know the remove blur and deflicker filter things weren't his. He's just taken those and like implemented them into the game. In fact, I have a feeling he might have even just taken them from Retro Rewind rather than need like individual codes for it specifically. Yeah, he just stole it. I mean, it is one of those things that's like, you can't trademark a code or whatever. It's sort of like, it's been put out and released to the community to do as they please, so... yeah, he just implemented it, basically. But I feel like when it comes to the CTGP channel itself, he's the one that kind of does all the coding for that stuff and everything. Yeah, it's basically like doing the same thing. You might as well just email Nintendo and be like, hey, can I have a software coding job? That is interesting. That I wonder if they do actually like offer online positions. Like, you could probably be a developer. I don't know how many developers they have. Nintendo has some mechanics patented. Speak to them. That is true. They do have that, but I feel like I watched a video about this like a few months back, and they only act upon it if someone tries to patent something. Like, there was like a touchscreen kind of control that a company tried to patent and then charge other companies to use, which Nintendo had already patented a similar thing. And there was like a whole court case for it. But I think things like that are patented and then they're just never actually like properly implemented. Like, I feel like games having a leaderboard system, for example, is patented by someone like, I don't know, Capcom or something, but they don't actually like act upon it to enforce it or charge people for using it. It's just kind of there. I don't know. I read something about it, but imagine patenting codes that everyone uses. For instance, you have played Pokemon. In Pokemon, there is a mechanic where you capture creatures with a circle ball, and that thing is apparently patented. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But is that patented to Nintendo, or is it patented to... is it Game Freak? I think they're the ones that are actually behind Pokemon, right? But it makes sense as well. And it kind of, I guess it would get a bit muddier if you like patented codes for a mod for a game that was made by Nintendo. I can't imagine that not happening to end up in like a court case. But yeah, but the point is though, is that removing the flicker filter and the blur are like codes that are just sort of, I guess, within public domain. I'm not sure who the owner is. Imagine Nintendo patenting drift because Mario Kart games are top notch. Yeah, you're not allowed to have mini turbo releases. I mean, I can't actually think of another game outside of Mario Kart that actually has that mechanic. Like, where is there another game where you can do this? That isn't like a third party or indie game. Crash Bandicoot. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, Crash Team Racing. Hypno literally streams that, and it is... You see, I think I was watching this the other day, and it looks significantly faster paced to Mario Kart. We had that one... Hypno was doing this ridiculous, like, 120 lap thing, and there was a track in the game that I know was in Mario Kart Wii, and he was just... It was so much more satisfying to see it played in that game. Like, I remember it was like a Mario Kart Wii custom track. I don't think it is anymore, if I have to be honest. I think it got taken out of CTGP a while ago, but... It's just... Looking at it... Like, it was one of those tracks that had... It would take like a minute to do. In CTGP, but it would take like 20 seconds or something to do in the actual game. And Hypno was just doing this for like 120 laps. It was ridiculous. But it was so satisfying to watch. Mario Kart DS was something else. That's Emma's Mario Kart. She loved that game when she was growing up, apparently. I remember talking to her about it on the plane. I actually showed her some of the videos of what the Mario Kart DS records are. She was quite taken aback by them, actually. They are fucking ridiculous, though. I cannot watch a Mario Kart DS world record without physically feeling pain in my thumb for the first, like, 3 seconds that the ghost starts. It's absolutely absurd. Have you seen MK Dash's Peach Gardens? I believe that was the one we watched, actually. That's Emma's favourite track, or one of Emma's favourite tracks is Peach Gardens. So I showed her that one first. God, imagine if I actually got that fast around the track. Okay, cool. I really hate this intro on lap 2 and 3. I have decided it's just something I genuinely don't like. I mean, I hate this intro in general at the moment when I don't get a fucking startup boost. It feels like it wastes so much time. It only wastes like 6 seconds, but I've missed it about 3 times in a row. Oh. Well, you said you lost your ghost. Did you lose your ghost on CTGP itself? I don't understand how anyone has not complained about the CTGP filler. Filler? Filter? I mean, I'm sure tons of people have complained about it. Filters, yeah. They're very minimal. They're a little bit more versatile when it comes to... what's it called? The web page. It should allow you to put a time range, get me the times between this and that. Yeah, well, again... Great, I love that. Just instant death. Drift the wrong way. Perfect. Just not allowed. Just not allowed to drive. Let me tell you how many lines of code are needed. What, for the database? I mean, why tell me? Tell Bean. It's his thing. But then again, I can't see him taking that in a good way. Oh, for fuck's sake, I did the same thing twice. Two lines of code. Oh, dick and balls. Okay. That was annoying. That was annoying. An unnecessary reaction, I guess. I love eating the dirt on the hairpin. Okay. You'll suffer with me. I feel like you're gonna have less suffering, to be honest. Again, it just feels like at the moment this has kind of progressed to the point where it's really stupid little errors. Like, just not getting the starter boost or just not having a drift come out the right way. Whereas, like, in a scenario where that worked, I would still have a run going, you know? I don't know. Boink. I'm improving because of everything else I know from the track. But you're also more consistent. Like, significantly. Oh, I guess that's true as well. Like, you played the other bit of track, parts of the track significantly, just a lot more. So you can just drive that a bit better. That would have worked if I didn't hesitate. Oh, what? At least I'm getting that. Let's not speak too soon. I love that. Okay, cool. Boink. Robin, why did you have to come into my chat to say that to Lewis? Could you not have used DMs on Discord or some shit? Also, hi, I guess. That's boring now. He's probably laughing now. What, Jacob? Can he even laugh with a broken collarbone? Whatever. It was like... He said it was like dislocated or something, didn't he? I wanted to pop in earlier, but I didn't. That's just my reason. I didn't. He's fine. Cool. Ah, fuck, dick, shit. You see, that's another thing. I just can't do shit sometimes. I just had too tight of a grip to release the B button. And that's just dyspraxia. There's not really anything I can do about that. Oh, suffering more from a cold. Okay. It is that time of year. Right, gotcha. I didn't realise it could pop out. I mean, I don't want to know how it can, because that sounds just really... you know? Oh, God, help me. Oh, for God's sake, just off. There we go. The warm and happy weather from the UK make him good. Yeah, when we get that weather, which is fucking like, I don't know, next August now. This is annoying now because I'm just suddenly like hyper aware of my collarbone and I don't like collarbones. But I'm hyper aware of it while I'm trying to play this shit. I can feel it rubbing against my shirt every time I go to wheelie. That ending was good. Ah, you dick stain. That's what happened to me the other night when he first told you. So weird. Ah! Did you change your name? Is that okay if I called you girl, or should I use a weird pronoun? Robin is... what's the term for it? They, them. I've forgotten what it's called. No gender, basically. No pronoun. Well, they're technically not no pronoun. They're not like... non-binary, there we go. And we have two in the family now. Robin and my cousin. Which is interesting. A decimal. Is that because I said nothing? Neutral language is appreciated when possible. Yeah. I think I've gotten better at it this year. Again, as I was saying, I guess it kind of helps because there's two in the family. Yes, well I mean that's not very difficult to achieve. I guess it also helps in Emma's friend group, there's a couple of they-thems too. Although I'd actually say Emma's a little bit worse at remembering pronouns than I am. They literally don't try. I mean, I've heard Mum say, refer to you as they once. And it was like so out of the blue, out of nowhere, that made it sound that it's just so like not expected that that's what sounded weird. I feel like Dad has tried but I don't know. Not significantly enough to notice from either of them. Yeah, I mean, it is a very significant readjustment. You have to remember they are a different generation. We're kind of lucky where this has sort of come out where we're still sort of learning about the world. That is a lot better. Mum is more passive-aggressive with it. She doesn't think it's a real identity. Yes, well, I mean, she's basically told me that as well. Sort of kind of, or hinted that that's what she thinks in the conversations I've had with her. But unfortunately, this is just the way of the world. Some people just like that, and that's all we kind of have to deal with. Yeah. I mean, I always talk about it as well. Like, looking back at it, I feel like we had quite a sort of gender-controlled upbringing. Like, you had the really bright pink room with all the girly toys and shit. And I had all the cars and Hot Wheels and things like that. Oh, fuck! I tried to make that really quick, and I ruined all of the speed that I had. And just like that, nothing ever mattered ever again. I'm really fucking pissed off with myself for that, because I could see that that was going to be the outcome, but I went for it anyways. It's like entirely my fault. Like, I could see that that was going to happen. Go for a really tight shroom. Whee, not that tight. Was very late, actually. That's what I wanted. Sorry, I just want to watch this back. Right, is everybody ready for a quality enhancement? So much better. There's a late triple again. I chickened out a little bit at the ending, that's why I'm slightly behind. Then the shroom. Ooh, that's tight. And a good release. That was a bit late, so I probably could have got a bit of time there. And then that! Fucking hate that. That's so annoying. And that's entirely my fault. I know exactly what I did for that to happen. I just went for the cheese, but I didn't have the angle. I don't know why cheese specifically. Oh, for God's sake, just stop telling me they're ads. Right, okay. That's what most people say, but the truth is they was a singular pronoun before it became plural. I understand it takes time to adapt though, especially when you're dealing with multiple languages. I mean, it can be used in both senses, but I do remember, like, it's a learned thing. So I remember sitting down in school and we had like those, when you're first starting to use them as sort of descriptors, you have pictures of like a person that it looks and is dressed like a man. Therefore, it's like he is. A person who looks and is dressed like a woman. Therefore, it's she is. And, you know, you kind of like adapt to that. A group of people standing together. Therefore, it's they are. You know? So on and so forth. And as soon as this is like out in the world and is kind of more sort of taught at an earlier stage, it's going to be more sort of ordinary, you know. It's going to seem less unusual. Lewis, you missed me like off screen in the ghost basically at the shroom. And I tried to like go for the gold at the end to get like a really good lap 1, and I just fucked up the very last mini turbo. It was a really tight shroom. And it had a good release as well for what it was worth. Talking historically, like when the word was first used in the 1800s or thereabouts. I mean, that's relatively recent compared to just most things. Yeah. You basically like making the same point but from a different perspective. It is a plural now, so it's sort of changed. However, it's kind of, I think it's more situational. But I guess you also have to remember as well there are different languages and they could associate things completely different. Like I know in Spanish you have the whole like masculine, feminine, neutral type thing. It just completely changes the definition. That does make sense, but what would that be? Is the thing. They are neo-pronouns, but they aren't as widely accepted. I mean, that sounds like the sort of thing that's about as good as calling someone by their name. Yeah. Like it's the introduction of new languages, so people are very ignorant to it, but not necessarily even by purpose. On purpose, it's just like blissfully sometimes as well. Well, yeah, I mean, the more arrogant of people that don't want things to be like that. Will be that way, and I think it's probably more common with older generations who are used to things being a very specific way, and then suddenly things are changing in a way that they're not used to. Human beings prefer their habits as they are, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely one for that as well. But you also shouldn't have things that are confining. Say, for instance, if someone wasn't able to use the, or be respected as the pronouns that they choose, then why should they be subjected to a life that isn't theirs, for lack of a better description? It's just the way I see it. It's just another means of getting comfortable as who you feel you are. I backed off the turn. It's understandable as to why non-binary people who use pronouns only use them with friends. I mean, that's... It makes sense because as well you could, like, your friends are the people you really sort of choose, that you trust and who you want being around you. So obviously they're like the ones that are going to be most supportive of that and understanding of it as well. Especially if they are like from within the same sort of generation. That one triple is really killing it today. This conversation's got harder than programming in my university. And I guess it's just like a custom one, isn't it? It's like the extent of when you do a survey and ask you for your gender and you're like, I prefer not to say. I mean, that's a very kind of bleak way of looking at it. Bleak? Not bleak. Bland? I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for here? It's just not, it's not like accounted for. It's not a common thing. Zay and Faye. You see, it sounds more objectifying. Zay I can kind of see as like... Zay and Faye kind of sound like they. And they're just slightly different. I have absolutely no idea how that could be adapted into another language. I'd recommend looking it up because there's a fair few. Some people identify more closely with objects. I mean, I do remember seeing like a TV show or something where there was a woman who would like take a lampshade off the lamp or something and then just stand in the corner of the room with it on her head. That's the other thing as well, actually, with these sorts of things, is that if there's a TV show made about it, it's kind of just like... From what I remember seeing of those things, it's just like, look, these people are unusual and weird. Let's make a TV... We've made a TV show about it, so you can see that. I've only seen them used in English. Faye is one I use occasionally because I am elf. I don't get it. You're gonna have to describe how that works. Is that supposed to be an elf pronoun? What's that even from? Boink. That should be regulated, in my opinion. You should not identify as an object. What the fuck is that? I mean, yeah. Again, it's just something that isn't really... something that is... what's the word? It's not something that is like... made... kind of being like... made aware of in a positive light, I guess. But again, if you know, if people are happy about that, if they feel like they are most themselves in that situation, then there's nothing wrong with that. I fucking hate you, Mini Turbos. You are a piece of dick. That first one was not a slip, and I drifted slightly late. But if it was a slip, I would be making it round that turn quite quickly. Fae is a term used to refer to mythical creatures like fairies, elves, goblins, etc. Fae folk. I see. Interesting. I mean, you did wear the elf ears to your graduation. So, makes sense. Boink. You used to wear those regularly. That's interesting. I can't imagine they'd be very comfortable with over-ear headphones, though. Which I definitely feel like you prefer to earbuds. Because I honestly can't remember the time I've actually seen you last wear earbuds. I am getting thirsty, and I have run out of juice. How long have we got? It's like half an hour, maybe. Roughly. Would probably wear them more here if I could get away with doing so without passive-aggressive comments from Mum. Just put them on when she's not here. I mean, you literally sit in your room like 99% of the day. Admittedly, probably because of that reason, but like... it's where you can be your most yourself. Oink. In a way, not like a direct way, by the sounds of things, but... have you played D&D at all, Robin? It seems like something you would have tried in uni. I haven't, but I would like to. I wonder if Emma and Alona's D&D group would take you on. I feel like you'd get along with that group very, very well. The more that we've like interacted since you've come back from uni. Probably the closest thing we have to describing it. My identity. I haven't, but I would like to just have to find the right people to play with. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of groups. That was tight. Oh, you fuck. I can't do it, Lewis. I don't understand. That's fine. I'll figure it out later. Let's see. I just want to see that shroom again. And also admire the fucking crisp quality. I hit the hairpin. That was pretty tight. I did get a bit more of a dirt clip than I remember getting though at the end of the lap. Okay, that's cool. Not my best, but whatever. It was nice. I love Magic and I feel like the folk have a much looser interpretation of gender. Feels a lot more fluid, if that makes sense. I mean, I guess it kind of like... I don't know what I was originally going to say there, I have to be honest. I just kind of like... I guess you could interpret it like... Because magic can change certain properties, it's like... beyond just assumption. To have like a fixed gender role or whatever. I don't know. What? It made more sense in my head and I just can't define it. But yeah. I can see you would actually be quite good at LARPing as well, Robin. Emma's tried it once or twice. I have to ask her where she went for that because you might be interested in doing so. Don't think she's overly interested in doing it anytime soon, though, because that's how she met her ex. But we won't go into that. That's all I'm going to say. Going back to a point Sean made earlier, being misgendered can be a lot more exhausting than most people realise. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you take it well, but I do feel like the way I interpret it is it's like a disrespect towards what that person wants for themselves or how they feel that who they are is. And like, I feel like most people, I think specifically with you and Sammy, you kind of just, you have to suck up a lot of that interpretation. Especially from the family. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which, when you think about it like that, it's not too surprising why you kind of stay in a room all day. I don't really want to spend much time with parents. To be perfectly honest, I feel like it's quite surprising that you decide to come with me to Grandma's a lot of the time as well, but I'm guessing the main motivation for that is puppy. He is ridiculous. God. I love eating hair on the dirt on the hairpin today. That was a really good catch up. I've missed a bit here. What was I going to say? I believe in mythical creatures too. In fact, I have a weird ass idea. I believe everyone has guided or something animal creatures that guide you when you need it. Everyone has guides. The first thing that popped into my mind for that was something like His Dark Materials. Don't know why. I think it's a completely wrong sort of fantasy though, because that's kind of derived indirectly, sort of comes from the Bible. Just don't have the energy to deal with it. Honestly, the amount my energy peaks when they aren't around is insane. I believe something similar to signs from the universe popping up everywhere every now and then. Yeah! When we were driving up to Liverpool, Emma was constantly pointing out these things like angel numbers or whatever. And she kept saying that she was seeing them and it was making her really happy. I tried to understand it. I did ask her about it, but I couldn't quite understand. I don't actually know entirely what they are still. I've forgotten since. But she also did something like I don't know what it was, like a birthday number or something like that, where you take like all the digits in the number and then add them together. And so mine tallied up to 33, and then I don't know what that was kind of referenced for, but then she looked up what that number meant, and like it was kind of like another version of a horoscope. But yeah. But, you know, she was happy. I don't understand it, but whatever. I don't need to. Psychedelic spiritual link for me, I think. That's something I get to. They're supposed to have certain meanings, but I see them more as they pop up more frequently when I'm on the correct path in life. Yes, you're basically saying very similar things. To Emma. I feel like that's... You two have a lot in common. Not everything, obviously, but like, there's just a lot that you kind of believe in that sense. I'd love to get you two kind of just sitting down and just let you have a chat someday. You can both vent all your pent-up frustration about me. Because I think Emma's got to the point where she's known me for long enough where the irritability is starting to show through. Which is why she also, to me at least, feels very sibling-esque. Like, when I look back at times when I saw them less frequently, it was always a less shit point. And then they started popping up again as soon as I was out of it. That's interesting. So when was the last time you said you would say that that kind of showed up? Because Emma was literally like pointing them out in like number plates and road signs and stuff. There's like one every hour. Ugh. You cannot explain everything with science, and it's hard for me to admit it. I mean, yeah, that's true, but it's like... You don't have to explain everything. Just kind of let it be. I do think the same about signs, but not everything is a sign. I've always felt like a desert was calling me. But I don't know anything more about it. That's interesting. A desert calling you? Or yeah. I mean, nothing like that sticks out to me really at all. So it's not something that I can relate to or believe in. But again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like, if it gives people comfort or support in some way, then it's not a bad thing. I saw them a lot before I got with Georgia, then they disappeared during the relationship and then started showing up everywhere again once that was over. That's very interesting. I still look at that very strangely. I guess I just never knew sort of the ins and outs. And I completely forgot this thing was here. You know, you can actually go over this at a certain sort of speed, and it just does not affect the vehicle. The ads keep happening when I click on Jacob's stream, and it scares the shit out of me every time. Wait, I thought you were subbed to Jacob. What happened with that? Oh, you mean you're tabbed out of this stream? I get it, okay. Okay. Hello again. I don't. I asked you where the ads were while you were having ads here. And Lewis brings it back to science, I guess, or just like I don't know, more logical based things. How should I tell you? The ads shown to you are gotten based on your data. It's basically a recommendation system like Netflix shows. Is that why the last few ads that I've seen have been beard based? For like a beard soap? I don't know how it got that from me though, because I've not indicated anything about a beard. But then I also got a fucking ad where there was like a woman getting a bit too comfortable for my liking in a massage chair. And I'm just like, why is this ad here? I think that's just a general like Twitch ad though. But it annoyed me so much the other day when I went to leg stream that it just... I complained about it in chat and then got gifted a sub just so I don't have to watch the ad again. That sub will be useful for like 3 streams and then it will run out. I am happy she's streaming again. I hope she does do it more regularly going into the new year. Do you remember the random ass AI girlfriend I showed you? That was based on your data! Oh god! I was thinking about that the other day for some reason. Someone mentioned something else and it just reminded me of that. I do not remember the context. Oh god, that shouldn't be so late. I'm not ready for holiday season, neither am I. I'm not ready for it to be like a month till my birthday. I'm still kind of getting over the fact I've just been to Germany, for fuck's sake. And I haven't even been able to do that because time's just going so quickly on by because I'm spending so much time editing shit. Although I've had a bit of time off recently, so... That's probably why I'm a little bit more chatty at the moment. Oh, Jesus Christ. Mostly because I watch a lot of AI content I see, so it's like literally picking up as AI. Watch AI stuff. That had the chance of being good. Let me tell you something weird. My mum watches a lot of angel videos and stuff. I took her phone and watched some videos. The algorithm thought my mum was a lesbian. Oh, God, okay. How do you even advertise that to somebody? In fact, don't answer that question. But how... Wait, how did it get to that from there? That doesn't make any sense. Why is... okay. Yeah, I'm irritated today. I feel like a lot of the driving was in the first third of the track and then it just started getting fucked over. I'm really not ready for that much family time. I've already had too much. Just go spend it up north or something. Go back to uni. See if you want to have like a friend's vacation or something. Although if you go and do that, I'll be left alone with family for Christmas and I don't want that. New Year's Eve was just so, like, lonely as it was. I kind of want to see if there's like a gig or something we could go to for New Year's Eve instead. I think that would be more fun. Just it's increasingly more and more depressing each year, and I don't know why. Yeah, Mez was here last year. You can go and spend it with her this year. It's like a swap. Because the algorithm recommends, uses recommendation systems. They recommend you stuff based on your data, yeah. But how does angels tie in with lesbians? That doesn't make sense to me. And I can't even think of how angels alone... I mean, I guess that's probably why. I can't think of how angels alone would be advertised to someone. Let alone the other one. The only way I can think of it being kind of implemented is like a dating site for same-sex couples. Oh god, why? Okay. Fuck! I was off the angle! It's too shallow. Stereotypically, lesbians are into witchy shit. Well, I'm glad you said that. Actually, I don't know why I'm glad. It just... I feel like I play more into like the tomboy kind of stereotype for them. Oh, right! So it just kind of plays into what we were talking about. The conversations line! They merge into each other. That's interesting. And also, it feels like something I fucking knew already. Oh, here we go. There's a paragraph. That was a late one. Because women tend to watch a lot of videos regarding spirituality, the algorithm predicted my mum is a girl because of that. But when I watch Warcraft videos, which is something that a male plays, the algorithm is like, what the fuck, why is she into these videos? The data implies that males are into Warcraft lore. Jacob says, are you winning, son? To me specifically, no. I'm fucking dying, and I'm not his son. He's young enough to be mine. That's what I'm saying. Therefore, algorithm concluded my mum was a lesbian. Ah! And I guess then, technically, Warcraft lore would kind of fall under what Robin specified. Spirituality, witchcraft, blah blah blah. So I can see how that then links up. Look, I pieced together the information. Aren't I smart? I should work for an algorithm company. I do not want to work for an algorithm company. Why the hell did I drift there? Why did I do that? I threw away the perfect alignment. I was like, I'm going to hit this wall. You can assume a lot of information from someone if you got their data. Sexual preference, ideas, religion, age, interest, and so on. Yeah. Jacob has gone to the loo and is screen sharing your stream. Well, fuck it. I'll screen share his stream then. I'm not going to do it in time. I refuse to be entertainment without being paid. I did not consent to this. He says, thanks, Dad. Good. That'll be 100 quid. I'm expecting a Twitch donation immediately so that I can continue playing. And imagine that though, if Jacob for whatever reason decided to listen to me and donated like 100 bits. Thanks to... There you go. I was expecting that was going to happen. I was about to say, Jacob, imagine if you donated just 100 quid to me just now and I just unpaused and played the game and just immediately PB'd. You know what I'd be doing then, right? He's got you muted. Are you sure? Because he's just said 100 quid. It's quite cheap for this track, to be honest. You know I'm broke, buddy. Yeah, but that's why it would be funny if you gave me that money for no reason. And then I did this. Are you winning, Grandad? Shush. You're not Jacob's son. You're his older brother. I'll try and get another lap one. And then I'll call it a night, I think. Yeah. No, I haven't had anything really noteworthy today. It took me a very long time to warm into it, and I've only just driven the first third of the track. Well, yeah, I'm about to end. So, yeah. But I have been playing for about 2 hours. I've got to be reliable. Well, reliable? These triples are good though, look at that. Yep. We had interesting conversations, yeah. I mean, I think that's the primary objective for most of these streams, to be fair. It means that I'm not sitting here just wasting my time pressing the restart button, even though theoretically that is what I'm doing. Like, I am also sat here just talking to people And I think also in a way that having a pretty in-depth conversation is very good at like taking your mind off of things. Which in arguably that could also be why I haven't PB'd. And in some situations I do feel like it was distracting. But then again, I also drove a 0.1 lap 1 when I was talking about Lewis's mum being a lesbian. So, you know, it's... Although that would have been an interesting PB. I mean, I'm pretty sure my Moo Moo Meadows on Deluxe was literally... we were literally talking about Super Seducer for like the first... while I was driving the first lap. I said something like Wars would be much more interesting if they were like Super Seducer, and I don't actually know what I meant by that. But I said that in the front of my PB with no other initial context now available. I'm just like, what does this mean? So every time I watch back the run live... That's just in there. Explain the reasoning behind the algorithm. Hi YouTube. This is Hi YouTube. This is my Hi YouTube. This is my MC3 PB highlight that you are now watching from Twitch. Just so you know, former world record holder. Luigi. Nah, I'll stop now. Now imagine if someone predicted like that they would get a PB like that. I feel like the closest thing was when Logan got Mario Circuit glitch, or GTN Mario Circuit glitch. He responded to someone in chat being like, alright, watch me get the glitch right now, and he fucking got it. Just on demand. I was there. I think I was watching that live. That and MC3 I feel like are the only Logan streams I've been invested in, and I guess I kind of watched Sherbetland for a bit, but not really. He's a massive meme. Like, he's an absolute god at the game, and I respect the hell out of that, but he's a meme as well. So it's very hard to take some of his achievements seriously. I try. I have to. Oh, for God's sake, okay. Yeah, it's just this ending that's been kind of fucking me up today. Let's go for PB lap 2, which I've already failed at doing. I also failed, don't worry. But that's the only time you specified that you have. You could have just been like finishing runs this entire time. That's good enough for me. No, bye-bye. Fuck off. See you another day. My best attempt was 200 and prematurely because I failed, but I was off-screening Nobuos. 26.03. Everything else was thrash. Thrash! There we go, that's good. Right. I want to show some stuff for, what's it called? What is it called again? Retro Rewind, so I'll be back in a minute. I've just got to grab the card from downstairs. Right, okay. Right, Jacob! Better be still watching my stream. Because I'm about to show you something I think you'll be interested in. He isn't. Right, go fucking tell him, Robin. Be like, drop everything you're doing. Because I'm going to show something on stream and I'm only going to show it once. I will give him a bit of leeway though and see if there's an update. There is an update. Oh, and it's finished. Okay. There isn't an update. Oh, but it's rebooting. Alright. Now, Lewis, remember when I was saying that you could play on this game with, like, inward drifting, everything? Oh, there you are, Jacob, just in time. So you remember earlier when I was telling you that you could play it on this game with inward drifting everything? You got him. Good. Good, Robin. Oh, we'll give you a head pat. Where has it gone? It's one of these somewhere. I've passed it. Have I? Have I gone blind? Where's Mario Circuit 3? Mario Circuit 3 is there for some reason. Look at this! Definitely an outward drifting bike PB. Oh. Never mind, it's a solo time trial by me on a different pack. Whoops. One too far down. Right. Bear with me. Okay, there you go. That's not outward drifting bike. Okay, let's try this again. Actually, I don't think I changed it from last time. Huh? Look at this! Wait, I didn't change it as last time. Hold on. I didn't realise that's how it worked, but it makes perfect sense as to why how this works. Hey Jacob, look at this outward drifting bike. It's so weird! The thing is, it still wheelies as a mock bike would. So it still wheelies like you're doing an inward drift mini turbo release. That is really weird. Not the weirdest one though. Not the weirdest one. Hold on a minute. Let me just actually fix this. The satisfying one is when you do... it's not this one, is it? The satisfying one is when you do inward drift on an normally outward drifting bike. It's so strange. I can't get over it. Right. Oh, for God's sake, why does it default to that? There. So you can do bike inside or all inside in these settings. And I was messing around with this with Robin, and it melts my head. What am I saying? Yeah, it's really cool. I was saying two things earlier as well. If it gets time trial functionality and a way to like support Mogies, then CTGP is basically dead. If it gets either of those things and does it better. And I feel like it's the existence of the whatchamacallit. That does that. Hold on, did the ad just play? Can you see this? Oh, for God's sake. I'll wait for the ads. I'm specifically waiting for ads for this. Fucking ads. They're pissing me off, and they're the only format I've got of money. I will wait for them. Yeah, they're retro rewind Mogies, but I meant for like just the normal like standard ones. He's had to go and do a Mogi. Well, tell him to quit. Tell him to turn the console off. I don't care what's at stake. This is far more important and valuable to watch. Okay, the ads should be gone. Twitch has to eat. Well, fuck Twitch. Despite the fact that I'm using the platform right now. Alright. Here we go. Here's my definitely outward drifting bike record on this. I was just testing this out and messing around because otherwise this bike's actually really good. But the thing is as well, is it's kind of the same as an inward drifting bike where if it was on outward drift, it kind of wheelies out of the mini turbo releases as if it's still on outward drift. As if it's still on inward drift, sorry. This is the opposite basically. So this is on like inward drift, but it wheelies out of these mini turbo releases as if it's an outward drift. So it was really difficult to figure out how to drive. He's now also playing MC3. Well, let's see if I beat him on an outward drifting bike. But yeah, I will admit that I did get a screenshot of this and I was going to send this to Jacob and be like, oh, by the way, I tried out outward drifting bike on MC3 and got this. But I just didn't do so in the end. So yeah, that was cool. That is passable, actually. Like, to be perfectly honest, there's not really too much unusual about this. It plays just fine. Probably will cause MC3 online is a nightmare. Not unless you have a good match. But there you are. I think I can get 26s with this, for as long as I just learn how the handling works. But that's not the only thing I did. Alright, are you ready for this? Jacob, turn off your console. Alright? Ready for this? He's in last. Well, turn off the console. It won't look bad. Because this is the most important thing you will ever watch. I did this. And if anything else is to go by from the initial time I showed, I don't think it's going to be much of a surprise as to what this will entail. Are you ready for a massive mindfuck, Lewis? Inward drifting kart. It's about as awkward as it looks. Also, I have no idea how to do that. I don't know what's faster there, to like release the first mini turbo first and then get an orange, or my way was just trying to like not have it so that it carried you around the hairpin too much. It is so unnatural and weird. You try it. You've got Retro Rewind. Give it a go. It's such a mindfuck. I don't think there's anything that could be worse than this. So weird. It's so weird. But there you go. I think I could 119 with that if I figured it out. But yeah. So I figured out the way that the file system works on here. So I've put some of my ghosts in here. So that's one of my oldest times I have a ghost data for. Not my first, but like one of my oldest. And then that is the actual Retro Rewind Expert Staff Ghost, which I've not watched and looks surprisingly underwhelming, to be perfectly honest. And then I beat it with a cart in Outward Drift by nearly a second. And then I've got a bunch of times that show up. That's you, Lewis! I think that's you, isn't it? Now I got Fox's Bowser Bike time. We don't talk about that one. We got Ace. player. I think that's you again, Lewis, as well. Totem and Tanny. Cole, Unreal, Jacob's on here. That's your keyboard PB, is it? Well, it'll be a former keyboard PB at this point, right? Unless it's the one with the triple mini turbo. That's actually surprisingly close between Jacob and Unreal. And we got David. I don't know who that is. We got the UK tops in here, actually, I think. There's Nick. There's my really crappy time. There's my PB. There's the Ghost. So I could just do attempts on Retro Rewind against this Ghost. There's my actual, like, PB from Dolphin, if you factor in save states and shit. Which is actually surprisingly close to that. I remember when this was, like, 3rd or 4th worldwide. There's actual Lewis. And then we go into the worldwide tops. Casey is the fastest. But yeah, everything plays as you would expect. So I can now watch this time. And to be fair, they seemed like the mini turbos were timed. I think the only thing that was wrong with this was that it was early. That was faster than I was expecting it to be. Not early, sorry, very late. There's barely any soft drifting there. But yeah, I just copied my my MC3 folder from the CTGP Ghost folder and then just dumped it into Retro Rewind. Your first Ghost for triple, very nice. I mean, it's better than my first Ghost for triple, although I think my triples were actually cleaner. And the driving everywhere else was just really shit. A 222 angel sign. Oh my gosh, we're on the right path. That means I must play Retro Rewind and not CTGP. It's been here all along. That's the sign. Alright, ZPL, I'm relying on you now. Go get time trial support for Retro Rewind. Get a leaderboard system in place and everything. I do wonder why it broke, though, for the other one. Oh, I guess because this is actually inward drifting bike. So I assume this is double, right? Yes. Okay, cool. Alright, I was just curious to see what that did. Right, that's all I've got today. I think I am done. So I have a feeling I already know who I'm going to raid, and it's not going to be Jacob because he decided to watch my stream for his own content. So he's getting punished by not getting a raid. I saw Leanne was live on the thing, so I'll probably raid her because I haven't been in for a while. But yeah. Rouse. Alright, actually, let me just double check if she's still live. What if she isn't? No, she is. Okay, cool. Right. We should play Uno. Don't start that shit. Alright. Thank you everybody for watching today. It has been fun, I guess. I think it's more... This was one of those situations where the stream was better than the actual like content that I was able to provide. I'm going to raid Leanne now, so please do wish her the best of luck from me on her runs. I believe she's speedrunning Mario 64. And I would say that gameplay is significantly more exhilarating than my attempts are on MC3. I don't know when I'm going to be live again next. I'm going to be jumping back into editing next week, so it will most likely be at the weekend, and it will probably be more of this. But we'll see what happens. Whatever happens, happens. Anyways, take it easy. Hope you have a good rest of your night and whatever, and I shall see you again later. Oh, that's significantly louder.